felt that separation more in the spring than what they will this coming fall if they choose that remote learning option. But nothing replaces the building of a relationship face-to-face.
For sure. And I mean, I know that parents and teachers alike are going to be thankful for that peace of mind from knowing that, you all have invested in this technology that makes this is an option, essentially. Before, when the pandemic first started, there was no time to prepare like this. But this is going to make it a much better experience, even if one needs to stay away from the actual campus, if they just need to study from home.
Absolutely.
Now, I wanted to ask, Patrick, I wanted to get your ideas on what would you say the culture of Oak Mountain Academy is?
That's a great question. We're very fortunate. Our campus consists of pre-K 3 through 12th grade, and it is a very loving, nurturing environment. It's family-friendly. We're fortunate to have just over 200 students enrolled in all of those grades. And so this is a climate and culture that expects excellence, and excellence in the term of academics, but also excellence in the terms of spiritual development and human development. And so having this close-knit family where we're able to really help form the child in a holistic approach in a true partnership with our parents and our families creates this really unique, special community that we have here on the mountain.
And that culture is reflected in your graduation rates, no?
Yes, we do have 100% graduation rates each and every year. And when we look at our overall academic performance that we have for our students, every year we compare our AP scores, our SAT scores, our ACT scores, our ERB scores, and we're very fortunate that each and every year, not only do we outscore the national or the state average, we also outscore the national average. And over the last 5 years, our graduates have collectively earned over $12.5 million in scholarships to the colleges of their choice.
Wow. That is, those are very impressive numbers. My goodness. Well, I think that it goes without saying that whether your child is going to be in person at Oak Mountain Academy or studying online this upcoming semester, they were without a doubt in good hands at Oak Mountain Academy. Well, we're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we're going to chat more about Patrick and Katie's plans moving forward into the new year over at Oak Mountain Academy and how they're going to keep these kids safe as well as the teachers. And maybe we'll get into possibly some athletics, and we'll talk about their back-to-school picnic as well. So stay with us.
At Oak Mountain Academy, our academic excellence shines through innovation and a personalized educational experience. Our pre-K 3 through 12th grade environment offers a family-oriented atmosphere. We are an independent school with faith-based values and an academy honor code. Our academic standards prepare our students for college and beyond. I'm Patrick Yuran, Headmaster, inviting you to visit us on the mountain or at oakmountain.us. Come see how our warriors are creating legacies.
For more than 70 years, you have turned to Tanner Health System for your healthcare needs. As our community moves forward, Tanner is here for you. Strong, safe, and close to home. Routine medical appointments, urgent elective surgeries, and imaging are back on the calendar at our hospitals and Tanner Medical Group practices. With the safety of our patients, staff, and community always our top priority. Learn more at tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong. That's tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong.
And welcome back to Community Voice. I am your host, Josh Engel. It's Tuesday, July 28th. It's 8:40 a.m. in the morning. I'm your host, Josh Engel. We're talking to Oak Mountain Academy. We got Patrick Yuran, the headmaster at Oak Mountain Academy, and Katie Kilgore, the director of admissions and marketing, and of course, great friend to this station. So we've been talking about their plans for the fall semester going back to Oak Mountain Academy, their plans to socially distance in the classroom to ensure best safe practices for the students and teachers, as well as their additional cleaning staff, which they have on hand to make sure everything is sanitized and safe. So I wanted to ask, do we have any plans as far as athletics on the mountain this year?
We do, actually, yes. We have membership within GISA, and I just got off of a Zoom session with them yesterday, and it's been in coordination with our athletic department. I believe GHSA is pushing their start back to September. However, GISA is moving forward as planned with play, with adding some extra precautions in there. So we'll start our soccer season, I think, on the 21st of August, and our cross-country starts on September 2nd.
Wonderful. So you mentioned briefly some precautions. What kind of precautions will be in place to help keep the students and players safe?
So a lot of it has to do with cleaning of the athletic equipment, in addition to taking temperatures of our students before they go to practices, just as we're going to do at the start of the school day, at the end of the school day. And then we have added some additional transportation so that we can physically distance on the bus routes. Students will, when they're in close proximity, in close quarters on the vehicles, they're going to be wearing protective face coverings as well. And then having some type of communication chain with all of the schools that we're playing, their athletic directors and their coaches, to ensure that they're also following the same protocols for the students that are on the opposing team that we're competing with, that they're also doing temperature checks, and they're also screening and following the same kind of cleaning and disinfecting guidelines the rest of us are using. We're modifying the way the locker rooms are being used and having kids go in and out of the locker rooms in smaller shifts, creating additional changing areas so that not everybody is crowded into one room. So those are the few of the things that we're going to start off with to make sure that we're doing everything possible to keep these kids as safe as possible as they engage in sports.
Are there any additional steps that teachers and our coaches will be taking to help protect themselves?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have PPE for all of our faculty and staff and for coaches. We have face coverings for the faculty, and then we also have those clear face shields that they'll have available to them as well. We provided additional hand sanitizing stations. We've also provided gloves and helping the teachers by splitting the class sizes down so that we have smaller numbers of kids in classes. Some of our classes that were in smaller spaces, we've moved into larger classrooms. We've transformed different areas on our campus to be able to create more instructional areas that are larger in square footage. And so that will help teachers be able to kind of navigate through making sure that they can keep distance from the kids as much as possible and that they're protected as well.
Well, I know that goes a long way. I mean, there's a lot of buzz online on social media about teacher safety and student safety as we talk about moving into the school year. So, I mean, I know it has to go a long way for both students and teachers and families, knowing that so many precautions are being taken. I did want to ask, it's a bit off topic, but your elementary school level students. I was talking recently with Steve about how Oak Mountain Academy goes above and beyond in terms of their curriculum. Would you mind touching on how elementary school students, how do teachers teach beyond the classroom?
I'll go with that one, Josh, this morning. Thank you for that question. So I love that building, and when I say that building, we refer to our elementary school as our lower school, and that is going to be pre-K3 through our 5th grade, and they are just, when you go in the building, the energy is just evident. You can't help but smile. The kids are just loving and nurturing, and so it's kind of, I love going in that building. If I'm ever having a moment of a hard day, which we all do, that's the building I go to because it just lifts your spirit. But to answer your question, we do follow Georgia State standards as a baseline for our curriculum across the campus, but especially in lower school. And then our teachers have freedom and flexibility and encouragement to add to that curriculum baseline. We are so fortunate because of our property, having 88 acres, that our teachers can go outside and really put hands to the curriculum. Just being on campus, there are so many opportunities that the kids have to learn and grow. And just as an example, In a traditional class setting, you may be talking about butterflies, and all of a sudden a butterfly comes to the window, and the teacher says, "Look, there's a butterfly," and that's it. You just look at the butterfly and you continue on with curriculum. Well, in our environment, we have the opportunity to stop class, get up, go to the window, go outside, engage with the butterfly. Our teachers can really take those liberties to do that, and we have such an amazing team that we can trust them to get those standards met, but then we know that they're going above and beyond those standards, so our kids are really putting hands to what they're learning. And just a little kind of piece above that is our math curriculum. It's very challenging. We do push the kids about a year ahead of the state standard for math. And then, because we're small, we can push them further. If a child is really showing that they need more challenge than they're getting as a class whole, then our teachers have the opportunity to challenge them even more in their smaller classrooms. So I love that individualized piece of our curriculum. Because every child is created differently, and they need different things, they need different tools, and some need to be challenged a little bit more, and some take a little bit more time to develop. So, again, that just speaks to our small class size and our amazing staff.
And I just want to chime in and reiterate what Katie had said about what an amazing creative faculty and staff we have. Just a couple of additional examples. The fifth grade down at the lower school have a fort project that they work on every year where they build forts outside on part of the 88 acres. The lower school last year focused on an innovation project where they got the students together, and the students designed a musical interactive portion of their playground in addition to the traditional playground. They've also done some organic farming, and we have a chicken coop where we have one chicken. A rooster. It's a rooster, not a chicken. And the kids learn how to take care of that. And so, just another example, one of our teachers, we were having mulch spread on the playground and took her class, because they were doing a math unit at that particular time, outside, and they started doing some early stages of geometry work and related to math contents they were learning in the lower school with that real-life experience that was happening in front of them. And that's just one example of how our teachers are able to be creative and pivot with no notice to take advantage of these opportunities that present, and we are truly blessed to have a staff like that.
Thank you for expounding on that. How do we see the children react to these sort of custom learning plans? I mean, you essentially have all learning levels they're being accommodated and being nurtured. How do the children react to this learning system?
That's one of the most fascinating things to watch, to be totally honest with you, because a lot of the creative ideas that the faculty and staff bring kind of set the tone for the students to do the same. And so they actually get excited and get engaged, and many times they'll suggest some of their learning pathways. And the teachers will kind of run with what their ideas and suggestions are. And so when you've got a classroom of 12 students in that classroom, you have a lot of flexibility as a teacher to kind of be able to move in the direction that those 12 students learn best, but also embrace their creativity and their thought process where they are, which does a lot to build confidence and helps develop them into strong leaders as they continue to grow and develop. And so our students really engage and embrace that process. And the fun part about it is that when we're down there walking the halls and in the classrooms and being a part of stuff, watching those students kind of lead and guide the direction that teacher is going in is an absolute beautiful thing to watch. It's very exciting to be involved in that.
It's really it's super cool that both the students and the teachers have a hand in how they learn moving forward, so as to have some stewardship in that education. I mean, that has to go a long way in terms of impacting the students. So we're going to take our next break, but when we come back, we're going to chat more with Headmaster Patrick Yuran and Director of Admissions and Marketing Katie Kilgore from Oak Mountain Academy as we continue our conversation this morning. So stay with us.
For more than 70 years, you have turned to Tanner Health System for your healthcare needs. As our community moves forward, Tanner is here for you, strong, safe, and close to home. Routine medical appointments, urgent elective surgeries, and imaging are back on the calendar at our hospitals and Tanner Medical Group practices, with the safety of our patients, staff, and community always our top priority. Learn more at tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong. That's tanner.org. Hashtag We Are Tanner Strong.
A well-rounded education includes much more than just academics. At Oak Mountain Academy, we encourage our students to find their niche in any of our 42 co-curricular opportunities. Over the past 5 years, we have brought home 5 state and 20 regional athletic titles. Our one-act play and literary teams continuously compete at the region and state level, and our academic teams bring home first place more than not. We are warriors creating legacies. To learn more, visit oakmountain.us.
And good morning. Welcome back to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. Today is Tuesday, July 28th. It's 8:51 a.m., and we're talking about life on the mountain. That mountain is Oak Mountain Academy. We got the Headmaster, Patrick Yuran, and Director of Admissions and Marketing, Katie Kilgore. We've been chatting about bringing the kids back to school here in the next month or so. We're talking about the precautions that they're going to be taking to make sure that both teachers and students, as well as the administrators, they're safe, healthy, and happy as they get things going back up at Oak Mountain Academy. So I wanted to ask here, I was forwarded a video. I'm not sure whose idea this was, but I got to know more. Tell me more about this Mr. Lonely video that I got to see.
Oh, that's so funny. So when the pandemic first hit and schools closed down back in March, this was an idea that there was a principal that had done this in another state, kind of in the month, I think it was in the month of April or May. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching that video thinking, how cool that is. I wonder if there's a way that we can figure out how to, borrow that idea from this principal that did that. And then as summer progressed and we figured out our reopening plans, one day it just kind of popped into our minds, and we literally just went around campus one day and shot some footage in areas that usually are very populated with kids. And we wanted to do something for our families to let them know that they are missed. They've been out of school for 5 months, even though we've all been working diligently every day to figure out how to get everybody back. We had definitely missed our families and we missed our students, and we wanted to figure out some way to communicate that to them. I've been doing video messages for our families, on average 3 per week, all through the month of July and the end of June. And they're all logistical things to make sure that our families know and understand how we're opening, but also can give us some feedback through surveys. But this was something that we wanted to do just to say, you know what, logistical planning aside, we love you, we miss you, and we can't wait to see you when we start in August. And so this was our way to kind of communicate that to the families.
Exactly why I was wanting to bring it up, because the heart of the message is that, hey, we miss you, we miss the students. Is this video on your guys' Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, good. So if you're listening to this podcast, to this episode, definitely go check it out. You got Patrick just all alone in this in the cafeteria and the hallways. Place is typically beaming with life and students, and it's and very exciting. And I know that had to mean a lot to teachers to let that it mean a lot to parents for the principal, the headmaster of the school to be like, look, we miss you. It's not the same without you.
I think so. We did. I received a lot of positive feedback from our families and thanking us for doing that and letting them know that they're excited to be back on the mountain with us, that they've missed us just as.
For sure. So we have about 5 minutes left. I was wanting to ask, are there any other events that are coming up that you would want to touch on?
I just wanted to mention, Josh, that as far as admissions goes, we are still enrolling students. As a matter of fact, I have another family visiting this morning with me. We do have a little bit of a process for admissions that is a little different than a traditional enrollment. And so I wanted to kind of talk about that just for a couple of minutes to make sure folks know that we would love for them to come and visit, of course, with face coverings and precautions in place. But, they can call the school or email me, Katie Kilgore at oakmountain.us, and I'd love to schedule a time to visit with them to discuss our school and who we are and their family and see if it's a good match for us to partner together in educating their family, their children. We do have time. School starts August the 7th, which is only, 10, 11 days away now. But we still have time to, go through the admissions process and work through all of the steps to get new families enrolled. Call me now because I am running out of space in a few of our classes, which is such a blessing for us. And I don't like to turn people away, but sometimes that's necessary to maintain that class size and the integrity of what we're doing here on the mountain. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that out there, that we are still, welcoming families and doing campus tours. And those are going to continue even as we reopen campus on August the 7th. We'll definitely continue having visitors come in, of course, with precautions, but I want to invite folks to reach out. And even if you just want to call and ask a few questions about our reopening plan, if you're just doing your due diligence as a parent, we're more than happy to talk with you and, start that communication process.
Well, we're very... Go ahead, Patrick.
I'm sorry. I would also add, in addition to Katie hosting these visitations, we also have our Welcome Back picnic coming up for our new families on August the 5th. And for all of our families, actually, we're going to do it outside a little different this year, where we're going to do it on the grounds instead of in the gym. And we're going to be socially distancing with earmarked areas for people to gather as a family. And then, as I said earlier, our first day of school with students is August the 7th, and we can't wait to have them back in the building.
Tremendous. Well, we are out of time, but real quick, are there any final words before we go?
Just wanted to say thank you to everyone within our community, from our community leaders to our elected officials to the leaderships within our schools and our local business community, the Chamber of Commerce. Everyone has been collaborating really, really well throughout these last 5 months. We always have, but particularly through these last 5 months of sharing ideas and sharing plans. And I can't say what an amazing community we have here in Carroll County of leadership that really does come together to support all. And it's a blessing to be a part of this community, and Oak Mountain Academy has benefited from the generosity of folks within our community. And these last 5 months have been an amazing experience in collaboration to try to figure out the best plan possible. So
Perfect.
Thank you to all of our community.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Patrick and Katie. Thank you for all that you do for your the students and families, as well as sponsoring this show and helping make it possible with Tanner Health System. So thank you both for joining me, and we'll definitely be speaking with you again soon. So best of luck this new year.
Thank you,
Josh.
And thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.